Shay is like my sister, so that's why she called me that, by the way. Nobody else can call me that, but she can call me. She's like a sister to me. Okay, so boom. So who was on my live? So let's chill on Shay. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way you are in my comments right now. After everything you did to me, I could literally burst into tears. Literally, I could burst into tears. You fucked me over at one of the worst times in my life. And I'm not going to say your name, but you, if you are still watching this, and I hope you are, you really screwed me. You screwed me so bad. And for you to hop in my comments, there's no one on this live. There's one person on this live that knows what I went through because of what you did. And for you to be in these comments so cavalier and so calm, and you have no idea what you did, the fucking snow, like the firestorm that you started. I have been going through it because of just that one thing. That one thing. Especially because of what you do for a living, bro. And I'm not going to air you out here as bad as I've wanted to air you out for the past however many months it's been since you me over. I told you from the jump, I did not have the money to front your cost for your project. And what did I do trying to be a good person? Fronted the cost. And that might have been a little cost to you because you make quadruple that. But my son was graduating. The internet dogged me out for the way that I looked. No one knew how stressed I was. That little bit of money that I fronted just set me so far behind. And you're in my comments is crazy. That just made me so mad. Because even now I'm still trying to protect you. I'm off here. That just ruined my mood. I like legit off of here. Exactly, Shay. That just hopped in the comments. That's the craziest part about it. He just hopped in the comments like, what? The I'm not telling, because I will never give life to like that. I will never give life to that person ever again. Like, that was the wildest I've ever seen. All this time you've had to talk. All this time you've had to talk. And you have said nothing. And all my outreach has been private. And thank God for people like Shay. Like, when I first took that financial blow, Shay was the only one, like, feeding me. I've been depressed as it ruined business relationships for me. Crazy. And then it's crazy because people see the post, and the people that know me know I'm like going through it. Nobody said, hey, what do you need? Hey, what can I do to help you? Hey, you've been there for me for this or that. Like, yeah, karma is a, but it's like, how long is it going to take karma to catch up? And I'm not one to speed up the process. I know everybody thinks I hate black men and all this stuff. No, I just hate the ones that come into my life and turn everything upside the down. Yeah, I am going to bounce back bigger and better than ever because I had to work myself out of that hole 50 times harder. And for what? Right. Not even hosted. He doesn't even host. He goes and blows the bag, which is crazy because you could have run me my money back. You could slow the process down. That's not a problem. The problem was the way you went about it. The problem was you let stupid boy get in your head, and guess what? The problem was the process had to slow down after you reimbursed me no matter what, because everything else had to be put in place. You act like the paperwork part was just pedal to the metal. Whole time you had another in your ear, and I told you from day one, I don't want to do with the project if he's going to be involved. Yeah, you were, and you paid for the work that we did. You paid for the legal filings. There's a balance owed. You have a whole budget sheet. You have a whole line producer who budgets everything. Everything. You have screenshots from the attorney telling me like, yo, you gotta... And I said to you that day. And then what's crazy is when I pulled up on your homie, he gonna tell me I should have used LegalZoom and pocketed some of the money. Huh? Where do they do that? And who has time to sit on LegalZoom? That's what the attorneys are for. I don't have time to sit on LegalZoom, bro. And then the reason for him wanting me to sit on LegalZoom was to pocket the money. But you know what I did? Paid all the appropriate people. I didn't make one red cent off of you. Not one. We asked you on the intake form, do you have management? You said no. Do you have a publicist? You said no. I said, do you want interviews? You said yes. What did I say to that even? I said, let's talk to the attorney and find out how to protect you legally, because a documentary is not going to be it if you're still in the life. I sat there because you did. You owe me $1,400. I had to pay that. So at the end of the day, we're not going to make it seem like I made any money. I made no money. But guess what? The work got done, and somebody had to pay that balance. And you're running around, and first of all, you didn't even have to say another word after that. You could have just kept the quiet. But you've had ample time. You've been running around my city. You've been posting like whoever said I couldn't come to LA is dumb as oh, they really tried it in LA. I run LA now. No, you don't, sir. And there have been several times I could have shown you just how much you don't. I could have gone several different ways with this. When my lawyer wanted to give the recordings to the feds, I said, just wait. Let's give them a chance to make it right. First of all, $1,400 for a draft. No, you never said you got the paperwork. First of all, the paperwork was done. He was not putting any paperwork in our hand until the balance was paid. He started that paperwork on good faith. I told you that several times. Several times. That's like saying, that's like somebody coming to me for promo. Here, let me put it in a way that you can understand, because I know you don't understand legit business. You understand street business. You understand hood business. You're used to f***ing you over, and you're used to f***ing over. That's not how we do real business. In real business, people work on what we call good faith, meaning they start the work process because you have a personal working relationship and you've always done what you said you're going to do. So without full payment, my attorneys started the paperwork 100%. What was due upon completion of the paperwork was a $1,400. Who had to pay that? I did. So if I had to eat the cost, why would I give you something you did not finish paying for? That's like you coming to me for promo and not wanting to pay me when the promo has to go up right now. This is why we charge for promo in full. You're not going to pay me a deposit, and then when I put the promo up, you're going to run off and not pay me the back end. That's why some of us don't go into the club. Because, okay, you paid me my deposit, but that was just to get me here. To get me inside, to MC, take pictures with fans. I need my back end before I walk in. Because you're not going to get me to complete the job and I haven't been paid. So you're never going to get that paperwork. You're never going to get your trademarks. You're never going to get your logos until you pay me back for what I paid to the lawyer. And if it would make you feel better, you can pay it back to the lawyer. The lawyer will run it back to me. You've had that option. You've had that option since what? No, I don't even know how long it's been now. And you've been in and out of LA. And the real issue, like I said, is you don't understand business. Who the shows up to your Airbnb and gives you an intake form, asks you the proper questions, comes back, does a talent interview, calls one of the biggest directors in the game for a favor, lets you listen to the conversation as he schools me on how and what we need to do for a scripted, not unscripted show, all the ways he's willing to lend help for free up front. You listen in on all that. We asked you if you have management, you said no. We asked you if you had a PR, you said no. We asked you, do you want to do interviews? You said yes. We asked you if you're open to brand deals. You said yes. I asked you for other key players' names so that we could draft the script. We hadn't even been paid for that yet. We were doing that also out of good faith. And what did you do? You let McKinley, you let whoever this other guy was, the Pounds guy. That's cool. My thing is, don't slide in my comments publicly. This is the issue. Publicly, you came to my comments when you have had ample time to communicate with me privately. And I have had ample time to send notices to your mom's house. Ample time to send notices down to McKinley's building. I've had ample time to send notices to your email. I have had ample time to walk into the federal building with my lawyer and hand over those recordings and hand over your social media. I have had ample time to do all of the above, and I've done none of it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to see you in that situation. I don't want to see your kids without a father. I don't want to see your mother in the courtroom crying. I know how scared you were because you said you were scared when you went to prison the first time and they stabbed you over a charger. I don't want that to be your reality. But where is the concern and the care for me? It's just $1,400 to you. But guess what? I couldn't afford to take that $1,400 loss.